but it's a word that's not really used except by Christians. So
well, I think it's becoming more, it's broader than that now. I do think so, in terms of our environmentally justice-oriented friends have taken that on. And then it's coming into some new economics, actually coming from within process thought to rethink and engage economics in a different way. So again, I'm just throwing that out and thinking, where does that in there? If it's a Christian value, as you just said, how do we articulate that? How do we live that out?
Okay. So we can move up into that direction at the master's level, at the grassroots level. How do you develop a budget? And so Heidi and Sean in Delhi, they developed a visual budget because the people couldn't read and write. So they worked with the people, what does it cost you in week 1? And then with simple figures, work out week 1, week 2, and then a monthly budget from that. So that's the level that we need to operate with our people at this basic level, all right? And the issue of ownership that leads to the land rights issues. For the pastors, the issue of ownership. So these principles. So yesterday was Pastor June, and June's here, Rose here, but for me to listen to the pain of the pastor's stories, when I know this can set them free, that simply teaching the principles can actually set them free because it will change their mindset and then actions will follow. It might take a year or 2, 3 years. So principle of ownership was crucial in the city. And every Levite was to own their own home. But the pastors don't think they should be owning their own home. And so they live with we trust God, but we won't trust God for our own home. And so just working through that principle with them. The principle of redistribution of the Jubilee. So in that discussion on the Jubilee, wherever it is, it's another, I use a different term, not for the Jubilee, but the Jubilee has in it the seeds of the living by faith. And that needs to be affirmed, particularly working with Pentecostal full pastors. And I've lived by faith for 40 years. So I know what it means to trust God and see Him provide. And we should never negate that for these pastors. And to watch the pastors say, I trusted a Korean, or I trusted an American to provide for me, instead of trusting God, is a very sad thing. But along with the trust comes these practical principles and then the application of them. So when the pastors begin to teach their people these principles. So one pastor in Uganda, one pastor in Uganda, as I'm teaching this, he said, well, I taught my people this. I taught them productivity and creativity. Now they all have work. And he was so happy, everybody was so happy. And then they calmed down and they said, but there's a problem. They don't come to church anymore. I said, you didn't teach them this principle of work and rest, did you? No, I didn't teach them. So then we discuss. Then another pastor stands up. He was a good man. He came out of the military and he's become a pastor. And he said, we don't need this. This is not Pentecostal teaching. We trust God and He provides for us. So I told him my story, how I got to Africa. God dramatically provided. And then for 40 years I trusted God. And then I said, and God's provided you with a church building, hasn't He? I knew that none of them had owned the church building. He sat down. And so then the other pastor said, see, there's something in this teaching that might be right, because our teaching, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. We should listen and try and work this out. So there became 2 days of discussion of these principles. At the end of it, they grasped the principles. They taught it through 168 churches. And to this day, it's continued to multiply out into the Congo and Australia. This is Pastor John Baptist, so we look David. Now, these are principles, and my proposal to you is that the role of the pastor is to teach the scripture. The role of the pastor is not to be the businessman, although he may start a small business. The role of the pastor is to teach, and the role of the pastor is not to get the money from the people and to oppress the people, but to serve the people, to apply the principle. So he is to help the people establish the small business. Does that make sense? So you're not training pastors to be businessmen. You're training them to help their people to be successful in business. If the people are successful, their businesses grow, the pastor will be supported. And the process is turned around from oppression to servanthood. Then after the principles, and with the principles, to start a small savings groups is fairly simple to do. So for a year, to teach and to do the savings process, to build capital. Because scriptures tell us not to go into debt. Microfinance immediately says go into debt. Why not do the savings first, then they have the capital to start the small business? That seems a much more biblical approach. So work on that for a year. Then you really need the kind of work that our brother is doing on how do you get the business started, and the training in the process to supplement the theological framework and the shared value system of the people. So at that point, I think there's value in the outside expertise coming into the small business development, which is the next course on organizational leadership. So I've stolen some time on your schedule because I feel this is so central to setting our people free. My class online are tired of this. And now we're trying to although they're in the sense of being somewhat the creators of the process with us.